So in the last episode, I introduced the teleological argument. And after I posted the episode, I realized that I had left out an important section. So here I'm going to say some things by way of addendum to the prior episode, the prior video. There I noted that our everyday experience reveals to us a universe that is rationally intelligible. There's an order, harmony, and regularity in the world that allows us to understand nature and to subject it to scientific investigation. Now, I take the existence of order, regularity, and intelligibility to be an evident fact of our everyday experience of reality. It's something that's just plain and obvious to us, even if we never stop to reflect on it, even if it's a fact about reality that we customarily take for granted. When we do take time to reflect on the order and harmony of reality, I think we're very often overcome by it. I mean, just think of times when the majesty and beauty of the world has confronted you in nature, or when you've experienced the miracle of a life at the birth of a child. The harmony and beauty of the universe can sometimes break through the distraction of everyday life. And when it does, we're filled with awe, we're filled with wonder, and even reverence. And this, as I take it, is a universal human experience. However, some want to object here. Some complain that for all the harmony and beauty we see, there's also disharmony and there's ugliness. The world, after all, is full of disorder and randomness. I mean, stars and galaxies seem to have coalesced randomly in a universe that is mostly inhospitable for life. We live in a world where things break down and tend towards disintegration and death. There's hurricanes and earthquakes that ravage the planet. Life seems to be driven by random mutation. People get sick and die, and on and on and on. It seems we can multiply examples of disorder endlessly. So the question arises, if we can appeal to the order and harmony of the universe for an argument for God, can't we appeal to the disorder and discord of the universe for an argument against God? Of course, part of the complaint here has to do with what is known as the problem of evil. And we'll dedicate future episodes to this problem specifically. But here I'd like us to consider the basic relation that exists between order and disorder in the universe. And the fact is that order and disorder are not on an even ontological plane. The scale is by no means balanced here. Order is primary and fundamental in the universe. And this is because being, as such, is intelligible through and through. In other words, there's deep order to the universe with only a kind of superficial disorder. Now, when you think carefully about it, it's not hard to see that disorder in the world where it exists in the form of randomness and chance is only accidental to the world. It's not essential. That is to say that order and regularity is fundamental or primal to being, while disorder and randomness is incidental and parasitical to being. I mean, just consider that if randomness and chance were at the fundamental layer of reality, there could be no causal regularities at all. But if there were no causal regularities, there could be no laws of nature, no consistent or predictable patterns of behavior, no natural order. The world would be an utterly unintelligible and chaotic soup. If randomness reigned at the fundamental level of the world, there could be no knowledge, there could be no science. Of course, there would be no consciousness, no biology, no chemistry, and no physics. But of course, our world is not like this. Our world is rationally intelligible. Our universe is mathematically describable in terms of physical laws and is characterized by consistent patterns of gravitational, nuclear, and chemical interactions. And the beings in our world have stable natures, and they behave in predictable ways. Even the quantum realm is not a chaotic soup of random events, but a structured system governed by probabilistic laws that are explicable on the mathematical model of quantum mechanics. The fundamental order, harmony, and regularity of the universe is the precondition of knowledge itself, as well as of our very existence. We couldn't even recognize or identify randomness and disorder in the universe unless it occurred in the context of deeper regularity and order. So the fact that we can point to various instances of disorder and randomness in the universe only reinforces the underlying order and harmony of things. But this underlying primal or foundational order within the cosmos is something that requires an explanation. How do we account for this deep principle of order that pervades the universe? Now, of course, it does no good to explain the order in the universe by appealing to the laws of nature, as many physicists are wont to do, since the laws of nature themselves are part of what needs to be explained. I mean, consider that the laws of nature do not explain their own existence. We can, for example, wonder why there are any laws of nature in the first place. We can wonder why our universe is expressible in terms of natural laws. And we cannot appeal to the existence of natural law to explain the existence of natural law. That's just circular reasoning. Moreover, the laws of nature do not explain their own consistency or their own stability. We can wonder why the natural laws have held from the beginning of the universe some 14 plus billion years ago until now. We can wonder why they continue to hold in the present moment. Why is it that the laws don't just randomly change all the time or spontaneously give out? Again, we can't account for the stability of natural law by appealing to natural laws, because once again, that would just be fallacious circular reasoning. Now, I personally find design arguments to be rationally persuasive, and the ones that seem the most powerful to me are those that highlight teleology at the deepest and most primal levels of the universe, which is why in the next couple of episodes, we're going to consider Aquinas' argument from teleology at the metaphysical level of causation, and the fine-tuning argument, which argues from teleology at the fundamental physical level of the universe. Now, one benefit of focusing on teleological arguments occurring at the deepest levels of the cosmos is that they are totally immune to rebuttals from contemporary evolutionary theory and biology. The truth or falsity of evolution is completely irrelevant to these design arguments. And this is because the features that are the focus of these arguments that we're going to look at are themselves the very preconditions for biology, not to mention preconditions of chemistry and physics, so that the question of evolution comes far downstream from these features of reality that we're going to look at that seem to be fine-tuned or designed or seem to exhibit teleology. In other words, unless the world is ordered and structured as it is, at the metaphysical and deepest physical layers of reality, there would be no biology, no chemistry, no physics. There would be no science, and nothing for science to study.